What is going on, Coach Launch crew? Hope you're doing fantastic today. It's a beautiful, beautiful rainy Friday morning here. I'm just getting ready to broadcast this into the group, so bear with me just for a moment. If you aren't in the Coach Launcher group, you'll want to get in there for sure. I say that every time I go live. Why? Because every day, new coaches are learning how to launch their coaching business, enroll new clients, and consistently do that over and over again. And I don't want you to miss out on that. So I'm going to share this into there. If you're following on the business page, just bear with me for one moment. And we've got somebody already. If you can hear me, please let me know. There we go. Excellent. Awesome. Okay. So this I'm going to close out right here. I'm going to come down here and try to follow along if I can. So I'm using two screens. That way I can read your questions today, all day long, with the exception of I've got a meeting with my ads team, and I've got a call with a brand new coach who's looking for some help. Other than that, for the most part, all day long, I will be connecting with you right here and answering your questions. Artie, thanks, brother. So glad to hear it. So glad to hear it. Artie, some of this is going to sound real familiar to you, especially as we're talking about our niche. All right. So the first thing I wanted to jam on with you today is how to pick your niche. Now, there's a few things you really have to understand. This is what you do before you put your content out. There's the work that you have to do to get inside the head and the heart of your client. You hear me talk about that all the time. There's this work that has to be done to get to know your people. And as the great Jeff Moore, the secret weapon, says all the time, and we're going to dive into this a little bit, a lot of times your ideal potential client, the perfect person that you'd like to work with, they're in your rear view mirror. What do I mean by that? I mean, if you look at your past via your rear view mirror, you probably at one point were an ideal client for yourself today. Does that make sense? That's such huge leverage in getting to know what's going on inside their heads and inside their hearts, because they will 100% absolutely resonate with you because you know how they feel. All right. So we're going to get started on this, how to pick your niche. But if you can hear me, let me know. Throw up a like. That will let other people in the Coach Launcher group know, hey, something's going on right now. You may want to pay attention. And then you will learn more if you are interacting. And I will enjoy this experience more if I can interact with you. I used to blog. I used to podcast. The problem with those things, those are great. But the thing I didn't like about it is I wanted direct, immediate feedback. And with lives, we totally get that. So absolutely. Let me know if you can hear me. And I'm going to get ready and pull up some. All right. You can hear me. Great. Cindy, great to have you here. And then let me go over to here and so that I can follow along. Make sure that I can read your comments well. So I see that, Cindy. Okay, Cindy, if you will click on the actual video itself to blow it up into your screen, that way I can better hear or better read what you're saying. Because right now it's actually on the post and it's not in the live, if that makes sense, right? So just click on the video, blow it up on your screen, and then I can read everything you're saying. Otherwise, I am going to miss it. So let's see here. We're going to talk about how to pick your niche. Probably the biggest concern people have when it comes to niching down is two or threefold. There you are. I see you, Cindy. Thanks. It's two or threefold, right? One, and I get this because this is how I felt. People oftentimes feel that they can help so many different kinds of people with so many different kinds of problems that they're concerned if they focus on a particular type of person, they fear that they will miss out on everybody else that they could help. Oh, but I can help everybody. And so if you go to their website, which you probably won't, but if you, because whatever, but if you go to their website, you'll see all these things listed, or maybe you list this. Oh, I can help you with being stuck. I can help you with midlife crisis. I can help you lose weight. I can help you with your career. I can help you with your love life. I can help you with your parenting skills. And you know what? That all may be true. That may all absolutely 100% be true. But if you want specific help doing a very specific thing, you're going to look for a very specific person. Does that make sense? If you want an incredible fireplace built in your house, you're not going to probably look for a carpenter or a plumber or an electrician. You're going to look for a mason worker. You're going to look for a mason worker, right? And an expert, right? Now, you may say, yeah, but in fact, I've got a handyman that I will contract to do stuff around my house and in my yard, but I pay him by the hour. When I am putting in a fireplace for a mason, I'm getting quoted on a job because I know the end result I want. Does that make sense? And you don't want to be paid by the hour. You do not want to be paid by the hour. So we're going to dive in that. So how do you pick your niche? Well, Brad, if I can do so much, what do I do? All right, I'm going to totally help you out with that today. Let me pull up my iPad, because you all know how I love to do the drawings. All right. Going to do some Venn diagramming. Love it. Some of you have seen me do this before. Okay. This just takes me a second to get this on. Yes, Cindy, I can absolutely see you. And so stoked. 4962. Okay. There we go. Beautiful. All right. Now there's a little bit of a lag, and I apologize for that. But if you can see this, let me know. So I'm using my iPad, and the app is called Notability. And then I use an app on my computer called Reflector. Now, Zoom used to let you do this by plugging it directly into your iPad. Those days are gone. So let me share my screen here with you, because that's going to be necessary as well. And then we're going to get rolling. Well, I'm going to have to edit this out, man. I've just been talking. It's a problem when I get into these things with you all, is I love to connect, see what's going on. Gada, did I pronounce your name right? Is it Gada or Jada? Let me know if I pronounce that right. And again, there is a little bit of a lag, but you should be able to see this by now. All right. So there's a few things that we are going to want to work on here. No, I don't want that. Get out of there. I'm done with all that. Okay. Going to do some freehand drawing today. All right. And so the first thing we're going to look at goes like this. Something you've been through. Okay. Gotta. All right. Awesome. Glad I pronounced that properly. This is something you've been through. This is just a great place to start. Okay. Usually, you start with something that you've been through. We've all been through things in life. We've been through childhood. We've been through divorce, or we've been through a particular disability, or we've been through an emotional crisis, or we've been through an attack, or we've been through building a business, or we've been through getting good grades, or we've been through surfing in our career, right? There is something we've been through that probably caused some amount of pain. And in the process, we absolutely learned something. Okay? So I love starting here. I love starting here because you know how you felt when you were going through whatever it is you went through. We all go through stuff, and we don't all go through stuff the same, but we all go through similar things. And it's a fantastic place to start when you're picking your niche. Something you've been through that involved pain, but you learned something, right? You learned something. Well, you can help somebody else go through that thing while they're going through it and come out on the other side better for having gone through it. Come on. That you can coach somebody through that life experience because of your own personal experience with that. Does this make sense? Catherine, good morning. Good to see you. Patrick, what's going on, my brother from another island? Good to see you. Let me know if that makes sense, right? This is a great place to start. Okay. So if you're wondering, well, what would I niche down to? Pick something you've gone through that you experienced pain while you were going through it. But on the other side, you learned something invaluable. Maybe you learned 10 things. I'll give you an example. I went through a divorce. So some of the first people I coached, because I launched my coaching practice shortly afterwards, and while I was going through it, some of the first people that I coached them through going through a divorce. I knew the language. I knew what they were thinking. I knew how they felt. It was easy for me to have a conversation with them. Right? And I knew what I would do differently. And there were some choices I made that not everybody made. And it was all the difference in my healing and in my growth and in my life and in my quality of life. And so I wanted to share those experiences with my clients. All right. So Goddess says it does make sense. Cindy says it does make sense. Awesome. Awesome. Now, think of something. And listen, you can do this while we're talking right now, or you can do this afterwards, right? But you would want to start writing down a list. When I first started dating again, I wasn't ready. I knew I wasn't ready, but I also knew I have to start doing things before I'm ready, or I'll never do them. It's one of the biggest keys to launching a coaching business is doing things before you're ready, because how you feel is actually irrelevant. The world doesn't care how you feel. The world doesn't care if you want to do something or don't want to do something. It's ambivalent, doesn't care, right? So maybe you shouldn't either. Maybe you should just do the thing even though you don't feel like it. All right. So I did online dating. That's how I chose to start dating. Single dad, had my daughters, 60, 70% of the time. Didn't have a whole lot of time. So I decided to do online dating because it was, I don't know, several years ago, but we have internet, and that meant I didn't have to go out to places to meet people all the time because I I didn't always have time to just go out. Sometimes I would just go out and meet people, right? So once I did that, I developed a process with spreadsheets and a very particular system that I could walk through the process in online dating to make it simpler for me, to make it safe, and to keep me from wasting time in conversations with people who weren't actually serious about dating. Once I went through that process, I was like, well, shoot, I can coach people on this, right? So then I started helping people do that. All right. That's awesome, Cindy. That's awesome. So start with something you've been through that caused you some pain, but you learned while you went through the process so you can teach people and coach people on what you've learned. Oh, this is just, sorry, but this is gold. Okay. That's where you should start, in my opinion. It's a great place to start. All right. Everyone's with me so far. Okay. Then you're going to want to look at this. You're going to want to look at, sorry that that's not absolutely a perfect circle. Then you're going to want to look at something you're good at and enjoy helping people with. Okay. It's something you're good at and you enjoy helping people with it. Okay. This is important. This is important because eventually you're going to want to be more of an expert than a generalist. And so if you're good at helping people with it and you enjoy helping people with it, it will remove so much of the resistance that gets in the way of building your coaching business. Does that make sense? And there's one caveat to all of this. But what you get here is this gives you energy. All right. This gives you energy to be doing it. Okay. Does that make sense? So first of all, you're going to start with something that you've been through that probably caused you some pain and you learned something from it. And once you pick that, you also want to look at, okay, Catherine, great. Cindy, great. Then you're going to want to look at something you're good at that you enjoy helping people with, because that's going to bring you energy. And it's also going to turn you into an expert in a short amount of time. Okay. Now people throw around the word expert all the time. You know, you can call your specialist if that makes you feel better. I don't care. I don't care about calling myself an expert. I don't care about calling myself a specialist. I just am that. At working with executives and helping new coaches. Okay. So yeah, this is great. If you can get those things to overlap, that's even better. Right now, but here's the crucial thing. This is so crucial. And it's the third thing. Let me know if that makes sense. Okay. Here comes the crucial thing. It has to be something that people need or want. It has to be something that people need or want, because this is the demand. Okay? You have to pick something that people need or want. Otherwise, they're not going to pay you to help them because they don't need it or they don't want it. You know, you can be great. I'm going to use an example. You can be great at coaching people how to do underwater basket weaving. You could be the most incredible underwater basket weaver ever. But if people don't want to learn how to do underwater basket weaving, you're screwed when it comes to growing your business because there's no demand. or very little demand. So maybe you can enroll one client, but that might about be it. Does that make sense? Lenita, good morning. Good to see you. I know you were looking today. I know you've been waiting to hop on here. Stoked. We're going to do Q&A later today. Get your questions ready, maybe even write it out in advance, Lenita. Now, here's the thing about this. This is what's so important. If you have this, right, it's something that you've been through that caused you pain and you learned from it, and people need and want that help, you can just start right there. That's enough. Do you have to be good at it? Do you have to enjoy it? Yes and no. When you're first starting, if you're not that good at it, but you can seriously help an individual get through something and it's worth it to them, then they should be paying you and you should be coaching them. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? So that's, you're going to want to make that happen. So that could be your niche. I've been through divorce. I don't know yet if I'm good at helping people go through divorce. I don't know if I enjoy helping people go through divorce, but I know there's things that I can coach people through, right? And people want it and need it. Then if you learn the right process to connect with those people and to enroll them, they can pay you. And you can help them. And then you're helping people, right? Or maybe you haven't been through something, but you're really good at helping people with something very particular. And they need it. And you're good at it. And you enjoy them. You enjoy helping people with that. And it brings you energy. And people need it. Then yeah, go for it. You can do it. 100% absolutely. Do it. Does that make sense? Now, if there's something you've been through and you enjoy helping people, you're good at helping people with it and people need it, bingo, that is your trifecta. I almost want to write out trifecta, right? I know this is simple. If you're not a new coach, then you may be like, oh my gosh, this is so elementary, Bradley. Of course it is, because we're trying to teach new coaches how to pick a niche, and you've got to pick a niche. Now, does it have to be super narrow? We're going to get into that. Okay. But if you've been through something that caused you pain and you learned how to help other people go through it and you're good at it and you enjoy helping them and people need that, well, then stop saying, oh, I got a niche. Run, go forward, move, start engaging people. Get inside their head and their heart. Look in your rear view mirror to where you used to be and talk to that you back there, because that's somebody else who needs your help. Make sense? Beautiful. Now, here's the thing you have to worry about. Here's the thing you have to worry about. This is the no zone. If there's something that you've been through and you've learned from, and you're good at helping other people and you enjoy helping other people go through that, but if they don't need it, that is going to be a lousy niche for you, because no one's going to pay you for your help and you'll end up just coaching people for free, right? Don't do this. Or let me do this. Right? Don't do this. Get out of there. Get out of that place. Find something else. Okay? Does that make sense? And do you have any questions at this point on this? There's a little bit of a lag, so I'm just going to wait. Okay? A little bit of a lag, so I'm just going to wait, right? if you can make it so that this is your niche, you're good to go. Now, do you have any questions? There's a couple more things I want to share, but if you don't have any questions, I'm not going to share them. I mean, I'm sorry, if you don't have any more questions, I'm going to go on to share them. If you have some questions, then let's stop right here. I'll answer your questions. So if you don't have any questions, I'm not going to share. That's BS. I'm totally going to share these things with you. That is a place that is easy to get hung up on, paying an expert, but no demand. Yeah. So move on, Catherine, just move on. Sometimes there are things we want to do and people will tell you, oh, you can do whatever you want. No, you can't. Not right away, right? You can. There is a way, as you get better and better at marketing, there is a way to create a market, but it's so much energy. You know, for the longest time, I wanted to teach people self-love. Just total vulnerability and transparency here, right? The demand doesn't have to be a challenge, Lenita. It doesn't have to be. It can feel like a challenge. I get that, right? But it doesn't have to be. So, oh, somebody came in here and gave me all the hearts and all the likes and then all the mad faces and all the tears. So here's the thing. I used to want to teach on self-love. I wanted to coach on self-love. I still believe that acceptance, liking yourself and loving yourself will heal the world. 100% believe that. And you can call me anything you want because of that. I don't care. I know that hurting people hurt other people. And if everyone was okay with who they are, there would be no war. People would be so much nicer to each other. Because usually when we're upset, it's because we're upset with ourselves. And we need to look inside and say, okay, what is it about me that doesn't like what that person's doing? It's probably something we don't like about ourselves, right? Self-love doesn't sell. It just doesn't. I've tried it. So many people have tried it. It just doesn't sell. But what you can do is focus on a niche. And then once you enroll those clients, you can help them love and accept themselves because you know, or I know, that is going to make a major difference in their life. Let's take new coaches, for example. I teach new coaches how to love themselves and accept themselves as much as I teach anything else. And I don't even use that language, but that's what I'm doing. Ask any one of my clients and they'll tell you. If you don't like yourself, your business is going to always be a struggle and a challenge. I almost want to ask for an amen. Does that make sense? Do you know what I mean? So what I realized is, and people get so confused with the term self-love. No one wants to, buy into that program. However, I can just make that a part of my program and teach people that because I know everybody needs it. Are you with me? Does that part make sense? Catherine, does that make sense? This is called, Christian Mickelson and many other people call this the medicine in the meatball. The medicine in the meatball. If you've ever had a dog and it's sick and you take it to let's say it's got worms or whatever, and you take it to the vet and the vet says, here, give them this pill. Well, I don't know if you've ever had a dog, but if you put that pill in your hand, that dog's never going to eat it. If you put that pill on top of the dog food, that dog's never going to eat it. But if you crush up that pill and you put that powder in a tiny little meatball and you put that on your hand, that dog will literally snort that through one nostril. You're giving them what they need, packaged inside what they want. Because there isn't a demand for what they need, but they still need it. But there's a demand for what they want. Okay. Now, yes, it requires some thinking. It requires some work, and it requires you to take action and do it while you're figuring it out. Okay. I'm going to stop right there. Do you have any questions? And then I'm going to give you the last huge piece of information that, to me, this is the game changer. This is the difference maker. This is everything for getting going and enrolling clients in a matter of weeks instead of months or years, because you should be out there enrolling clients and getting paid to coach people. I'm going to say that again. You should be out there enrolling clients and getting paid to help people with life transformation. And if you aren't doing that, I'm going to challenge you to make it happen. Why? Because I care. Okay. Are you all with me? Goddess says, couldn't agree more. Anybody else with me still? Are you mad? Give me 1 second. Let me, somebody's asking to get into the group. I want to let them in the group in case they want to. Yes, you can come in. 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 Hey, I'm looking at these profiles as people come in over and over again, by the way. Pause on niche. And man, some people need some help. So what I'm going to do is I'm definitely doing a profile audits later today. All right. If you've already had a profile audit, then make room for somebody else to get a profile audit. Okay. But I will help you. All right. So let's see here. There we go. So now everybody has this. I'm going to leave this recording up so you can look at this. In fact, I might even give you, if you would like this as a PDF, I'll drop it in here for everybody. Okay. Sound good? Say yes, PDF, or say PDF. If you're not interested, that's fine. Now, here's where most people get stuck, and I'm going to get you unstuck. Most people think that in order to anybody know what that is? Okay, I'll get you the PDF for sure. Somebody want to tell me what this is? As soon as I see it, I'll move on. It's a diamond. It's a wedding ring. Boom, Chris Scotto in the house, busting out wedding ring. That's exactly right. The biggest mistake, one of the biggest mistakes, Lanita, it's a light bulb if the diamond's big enough, right? One of the biggest mistakes that hold people back is they feel like they have to marry. They feel like they have to marry their niche. They feel like they've got to pick a niche, and then they're thinking 10 years down the road about, well, do I want to be coaching that forever? Can I blow that up into a huge coaching business? Do I want to be famous for being a coach who works with that? Most people think that they have to marry their niche when they pick it. And so they stay stuck in the same place because they are afraid to commit. Do not marry your niche. Instead, do this. Date your niche. Take it out on a few dates. Just pick something that you've been through, that you're good at coaching people with, and that people need. And then don't say, that's what I'm doing for the rest of my life. Date that niche. Get out there and engage with people. Get inside their head, get inside their heart, start putting that information into your content and into your messaging so that you're resonating with people and they go, oh my gosh, that person totally gets me. I wonder if they can help me. Engage them, ask them really good questions until you get to the point where you can say, hey, we need to get on the phone. I might be able to help you. I don't know yet, but let me ask you some questions. And then you get on the phone and then you have that conversation. And if you can help them, and if they're better off with your help than without, and if you want to work with this person, if you get 3 yeses on that phone call, tell them what your offer is and tell them how much it is and tell them with 100% confidence that you can help them, and then help them work through their limiting beliefs, because they probably are going to be really scared to take action and they're going to be scared to pay you. Does that make sense? But you can work through all that. I do it every day and enroll people. If this is going to sound so cliche, but for crying out loud, if I can do this, you can do this. Okay. But stop looking to marry your niche. It's time to date your niche. And let me plug in my iPad because we're going to be going all day. I am coming back into this group. I've got a call in a few minutes with my let me just message him right now. Make sure we're on. Okay, I am going to be live most of the day in here, helping you with whatever you want help with. But I wanted to start with niche because there's been lots of conversations, not just in this group, but lots of other groups. Date your niche, right? How weird would it be? How weird would it be if when you're in middle school, let's say you start dating in middle school, you walked around with a diamond ring and the first person that you were interested in, you just pulled it out and said, I wonder if I can marry that person. I don't know. So you put the diamond ring back in your pocket and you never go on a date. And then you do that until you're in high school and you meet somebody and you kind of like them. You don't know them all that well, but you don't ask them out on a date because you think you have to marry them. So then you get into whatever. Guess what? If you never go on a date, 1, you're less likely to probably find love. 2, you're alone all the time. 3, you miss out on all of those learning opportunities to have a really healthy relationship once you do find somebody that you would like to consider spending the rest of your life with. Are you with me? Does that make sense for you? Date your niche. Here's why. Because you can start enrolling clients by doing this. And then maybe you find out after 5 or 10 clients are paying you, after you've made thousands of dollars doing this, you realize, you know what? I don't know how much I really like helping these people in this niche, but there's 3 of them, and I really liked helping them with this specific thing, this very specific problem that they had within my niche. Then you can actually niche down even more, get even more focused with something you really enjoy and you're good at helping people with. It brings you energy. Maybe it isn't something you've been through at that point, but you spent so much time with these people that you know them and you know how they feel and you know their pain and it feels like your own, right? And people need it. And you know people need it because you've already had people pay you to help them with it. Are you with me? You get me here? Here's the problem as I see it. Here's the mountain, okay? We'll give it a little bit of a snow cap. Some lines going up the mountain, right? Here's the problem, okay? You're right here. This is you. And you're looking up this mountain and you're trying to figure out, how do I get up this thing? How do I get up this thing? Because up here, you're making an impact in a client's life, and you know what else? They're paying you to do it. which is how it should work. And you're thinking to yourself, well, I could choose this niche to get up there, or there's this niche to get up there. Here's a niche to get up there. And here's some people I could help to get up there, but I just don't know which one I want to marry. I'm just not sure who I want to. I've got these blocks inside, and because I have these blocks inside, I need to get rid of those blocks so that I can freely move up this mountain. I don't care if you're carrying a backpack, we'll call that a block, or not. You can still climb that mountain. And in fact, you might realize, oh, I don't need this backpack once you get to this point, but you'll never realize that if you don't start climbing. And so you're like, oh, I've got to find I'm going to put this in quotes. I've got to find the perfect route. I've got to find the perfect route that feels good to me and that I feel right, and blah, 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 blah. You're not going to be coaching in 2 years what you're coaching now. I'm just telling you. It's going to change because we grow and we learn more about ourselves and we discover things and our awareness grows, right? So just relax, date your niche. What I'm telling you, just freaking pick one and start going up the mountain. Just start going. You could get to this point right here and say, yeah, this isn't it. This isn't for me. And then what are you going to do? You go over here and then you start working yourself up the mountain. But if you don't start getting up the mountain, you're down at the bottom. You're just stuck here the whole time in your little bubble where you're safe and you don't have to leave your job and you don't have to worry about will you be successful because you're just not doing anything. Yeah, I mean, you might be working on your website and you might be working on your blog and you might be active in coaching groups, asking questions and talking a lot and trying to help other people about stuff you really don't know. It's just what you've heard from other experts. I'm sorry if that sounds mean. I'm not trying to be mean. I want you to start moving up the mountain and start enrolling clients. I know you're not ready. I know you say you're ready and you're not ready, but we've got to do the things before we're ready. That's the greatest stuff in life, works that way. And you can do this and you can make this happen. All right. Who's mad at me? Who's mad at me? It's okay. My clients get mad at me sometimes. They know I care. They know I'm pushing them because I care. That's called trust. Cindy. Awesome. Goodness gracious. You're such a great person. I'm sure you're a great coach. You should be doing this. You should be getting paid to do this. Let's go. Let's do it. You are welcome. And you may be getting paid to do this already. Let's crank that up. Let's crank that up. Hashtag truth bombs, Lita. It is time for you to move. Lenita, it is time. Let's start doing it. And then let's do trainings on what do I do now that I have 5 clients and I'm realizing I need more time in my day. Well, I can help you with that because let's just talk about it. You're making an impact. You're transforming people's lives. You have more money in your bank account. So you can help more people, have a deeper impact. You've got more freedom. You're always going to have a challenge. The question is, what is the quality of your challenge? My challenge used to be this. I don't know who to help and I don't know how to enroll people. That was my challenge. It's a low quality challenge. It frustrated me. Then I learned how to do this and I started enrolling clients and more clients and more clients. And then my challenge became, how do I get everything done in the day that I need to get done in the day? And when do I leave my full-time job? And, when do I What's up, Seth? When do I go ahead and move into a new place? Are you with me? Your challenges have a higher and higher quality the more action you take, and you've got to start climbing up that mountains. That mountains? That mountain. Trust me, once you get to this top of this mountain, you're gonna be like, oh, this is awesome. And guess what? You're gonna see another mountain, and you're gonna be like, oh my gosh, that would be awesome. I would love to work my way up that mountain. And you come down this one and you go to the next one. It's awesome. Okay. I'm going to go get ready for this meeting with my ads guy. Great guy. If you don't know Seth Pennington, he's in this group. He's fantastic. He's great at what he does. He's got a great team with him. I'll see if I can pull him on to do a training on ads. I don't like to talk a whole lot about ads for new coaches because you do not need them. Okay, you don't need them. Now, I'm going to be going live again later. I've got this call at 11. I've got a call at 12. And then at 1 o'clock, 1-ish, okay, I'm going to come back on. Think about what you need help with. I will be here and help you. I promise you. I'll pull you onto the Zoom. Maybe we'll even talk to each other face to face, or if you don't want to do that, I'll just answer your questions in there, okay? But there's a few more things I want to talk about. I want to talk about your mental framing and your emotional framing, some of the things we just kind of touched on today. But if you find this helpful, I'll put the niche in the comments for you to download, okay? I'll put this PDF. Did I say the niche? I'll put this PDF. I'm going to put a niche for you in the comments. I might be able to help you pick your niche, but remember, we do this, right? Pain, expert, demand. Okay, date your niche. Most important, start getting up that mountain. Get up that mountain. Pick something and go with it. Just pick something and go after you go through this process. You're welcome, Cindy. I'll be back a little bit later. Be popping in and out. You're all fantastic. I'm going to close this out. I'm going to say goodbye. If you have something you want answered, if there's something you need help with, don't be shy. Just let me know. Okay? Drop a question in the group. Drop a question in the group. That way I'll be able to find it. Chris, great to have you here, man. Great to have you here. All right. I will chat with all of you sooner than later. Okay. Bye-bye.